Speaking of aging, you remind me of a story of, remember Arturs Irbe?
Of course.
Legend.
San Jose Shark, worst face mask in the league. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, Hurricanes icon, led him all the way to the Mug final in 02.
Yep.
So I read a story the other day that he signed a PTO in Ottawa. And, he played.
Who did they lose to that year?
With the Hurricanes?
Yeah, because Paul Maurice was behind the bench on that one.
Yeah, Pimo led them all the way to the Cup final. They lost to the Red Wings. I think it was in 5.
Yeah.
Because they beat the Leafs in 6 to knock them out of the Eastern Conference final.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, they go to the Cup final, and Arturs Irbe was known notoriously for he didn't like new gear. He got what he got, and he used it until he couldn't use it no more. And I think he has the record. I think he used the same set of gear for 5 seasons from San Jose through Carolina. But so when he went to Ottawa on a PTO, his gear was kind of beat up. He couldn't use it anymore. And also he'd break gear in. He would take it with some hockey tape, tape the pads together, and he'd run them over with a truck. Mm-hmm. And that's how he broke in old school pads, which is insane to think about nowadays. Jonathan Quick actually used to do the exact same thing. He'd run them over with a truck. He'd like the pads nice and soft. Because Arturs Irbe wanted the same set of pads, he ended up putting out an ad in the newspaper, in the Ottawa Citizen, I believe. Does anybody have this exact model of Hespler pads? I'm looking for this. We'll pay premium dollars. Couldn't find the pads, but that's iconic.
Well, okay, this is a great example, and I know I'm getting older when I use the old "they don't make them like they used to" line. But those pads were heavy. Like, I mean, I wasn't part of the generation where they were stuffing those pads full of hay. But I mean, it was foam and whatnot, not to the extent of what you guys are using in this day and age, where the stuff that you guys are using are rather thick. But those things would come and they were hard and they weren't custom. They were stock. You get them right off the shelf and you'd put them on and you'd have to kind of mold them to your shin. You kind of have to mold them to whatever your style of goaltending is. But the thing is about those pads, those would last you 2 or 3 seasons, where you guys now are maybe replacing them 2 or 3 times a season. So are they lighter? Yeah. Are they more ergonomical? Sure. But you're not using them year over year over year because they get banged up real quick. So it's the old time age question of performance over longevity. Mm-hmm. And I think nowadays it's performance. It wins every time.
Hey, every Sunday a new podcast goes up, but if you don't have time to watch the whole thing, there's clips everywhere and just segmented stuff on your favorite players. Go subscribe to Slang and the Biscuit. You can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?